Yeah, it's been about 10 days since I uploaded. Let's not do that. Let's not have 10 days pass before the next episode. Today we got a power jammed episode, and because the stories are kind of getting a little bit out of hand, I gotta get you guys up to date with some of the other stories that are possibly not going to the main channel. So welcome to the Church Reality Extras. Down here we cover news that pertain towards where the world is in prophecy states or what's happening in the church in general. We don't talk doctrine here, we just focus on what the stories are. So today's episode's power jam pack, starting off with, hey, Bishop Makamu says he's hiring people who want to pray. Pause before we get to subject matters of people wanting to pray or subject matters that need people to pray. Let's go back and let's see how far society is and how much society definitely needs prayers, to be very specific. A pastor. I said a what? Sometimes, you might think I'm not talking about pastors here. A pastor out here did the most. Pastor has been arrested. He's currently in custody, I think. Is he in custody or what's happening? That particular part I've not heard cleared concerning that, but the things that he has done are cleared within the news. Sanini Voice News reported that a Bulobedu pastor back in court, so maybe he's not in jail, maybe he's back home, after for allegedly dousing hot water on his girlfriend. Yeah, the talk was done with. The pastor just went rogue there. They said that the pastor, also known as or self-proclaimed evangelist, allegedly poured all hot water on his girlfriend's chest and later pointed a gun at her following a heated argument. Yeah, no, that's a very prosecutable crime if it is not clear. Now, that particular story has been posted by Tzani News a couple of hours ago. So I'm not sure if there was a period when he was arrested or what. It was even my first time even hearing about the pastor or this particular story in particular. And so I will try and look out for it now that I've heard about it. And if there's anything that comes up concerning that, I'll definitely update you concerning that. Now, these are those rare stories which sometimes you will hear about or you will just not even see. Speaking of things being rare, an animal was spotted that people had thought maybe was just, one of those rare animals that you just don't hear about. A white Iberias lynx is not mythical. A photographer captured the big cat in Spain. This is the particular cat here that they're talking about. This cat-like, lion-like with things that look like beard. Those things that people used to post. There is actually, I think, even Ice Age. Is it Ice Age? Yeah, the movie Ice Age. They used to have this cat-like lion animals that have this beard thingy. Yeah, they say they saw one and a photographer, and people were actually dismissing it and saying maybe it is AI. That is not AI. Actually, the photographer even recorded a video footage of it. Now that tells you how far we are when creation now reveals itself in this manner. When creation is now revealing itself in this manner. This was something that they thought, it's just thingy. This was posted on the 30th on thingy. Now, I would not have even heard about this story I only heard about it because I do follow a lot of geek news or gamer news. Gamers are the ones that pulled up these stories, and that's where I actually saw it. So creation is also showing you the amount of revelations or things that are becoming clear. Not revelation, amapopola or enigma. No. Revelations in the sense that we are inching towards that period when things are becoming clearer and clearer, to a point where things were thought to be mythical are out there right in the wild. Now, they didn't say where exactly this was seen, to avoid people maybe going over there. I mean, like, they say this thing is so rare. I don't know if I saw the statistics here. I saw it when I was in the geek community news thingy, but I'm not sure if it actually reads it here. But they did state that this is so rare to see that there is no photograph like directly like this over the last couple of years. So that tells you how rare it is. And so we're living in pretty wild times. We are living in pretty wild times, to a point where stories that come out sound almost as if they are not even real at this point. Speaking about stories being real, there is an evangelist, a South African evangelist, who is going out on a walk. According to the headline, it says that, let me see if I can pull this up. Midday update, evangelist, okay, walking from Cape Town to Israel, crosses the Beit Bridge border. South African evangelist, it says his name, who is walking from Cape Town to Israel, crossing the Beit Bridge. So he has gone from Cape Town. He's going to Israel. That is a long journey. But I'll also follow this story, because there's another story that I want to show you of a person who actually attempted to do this type of a walk, like these long straight walks and stuff like that. And he actually completed, I think, about early this year. I'll look up that story again and I'll bring it back here once I do go back on this particular story. So I thought this was pretty wild. He's walking all the way towards Israel, carrying a wooden cross to spread the word of God, and has successfully crossed the Beit Bridge into Zimbabwe, and is in his spiritual journey. In March 2025, November, he arrived at the Beit Bridge. Okay, wait, when did he arrive? Oh, November the 3rd. So today he arrived. Yeah, I was wondering. So is this when he started? March? And now he's arrived at Thingy. And so I wonder how long that is going to last. A brief ceremony was held at 10, and God has exchanged the South African flag for the Zimbabwean flag. So when he steps into a new country, I guess that's what he does, continuing his pilgrimage through Zimbabwe to other African nations in his way to the Temple Mount. That's an interesting one right there. Now, by the way, the reason why I want to bring up that other story, I'll try and remember. I'll mark it down. I'll mark it down. The other gentleman who did this, he walked into so much trouble. It deserves its own episode, but I will try and make it shorten it, because it's a whole story. I think it took him years. There were points when he was stranded in countries where he couldn't even cross. There were places where he got so stranded he had to take 2, 3, 4 weeks just to go around certain rivers, because of the places where he found himself, that rivers came up that he didn't know anything about. So that other story, I'll try and pull it up once we do get another update concerning this story. That is pretty wild. He is going all the way. Just for those that want to see the name again. Ooh. Evangelist is walking from Cape Town to Thingy. I'm sure if you search that, you'll definitely see it. This was a video which actually shows him but you can go and check for him over there. Turning News also posted that one as well. A video has come up of the Nigerian preacher's wife, Oyedepo, where she was Adepoye. Their names almost sound similar. Adepoye's wife came out speaking about a point when the husband and so forth almost got poisoned, and luckily the food was actually handed over. I think they handed over the food to the dog, and the dogs died, I guess. I'm guessing. And so it was a pretty wild story that was there. It explained that the food was brought to their residence as one of the many New Year's gifts. Okay. However, following the sudden sense of unease, they kind of just fed the food to the dogs, and little did they know the food was poisonous. That's wild. So it might look like, yeah, it's all good, Pastor, you take all the gifts, you do it. It's not. That might not be a thing. I thought that story was pretty wild. There is an entire video that I saw on social that actually contains that. Now, this takes us from, testimony, people surviving, to people wanting to be destructive. Oh my, Putin is back with himself. I think Putin does not work with other children. He lives this life by himself. And so he's constantly in the news for wanting his own things. Putin says, okay, Russia has this missile, okay? Where is that particular part in the thing? They say this thing they have this missile that can stay in the air for 15 hours. Did they say 15 hours? Let me see. Yes, Russia's military claims that this particular missile flew 8,700 miles at low altitude. Okay, so low altitude might not be detected. But anyways, over a 15-hour period. A missile that can travel 15 hours. No stress. No update, nothing. Going to cause distraction. Going for problems. Where it's going. What's wrong with Russia and all these people? And so in comparison, and then say the airlines flight from San Francisco to Boston covers 2,700 miles in 6 hours. And so this one particular, Evan, like, what are they trying to achieve? And I don't know, I think I saw someone saying that they want to even maybe try these things, try and see what, like, this thing can be flown to a completely different. Hi, yes, labantu laba. So when the Bible says, you'll hear of wars and rumors of, there you go. And by the way, after Russia then declared this whole thing, Trump said that they also announced that they are officially going to be reopening their testing of nuclear powers and testing their nuclear. So everybody now is just engaging and wanting to test. So they're going to be testing, I don't know, they're going to be finding places to be bombing so that they can see how Jesus. Now you wonder why the Bible actually says that God has a judgment for people that actually are destructive to the people are developing weapons that are flying 15 hours by themselves. 15 hours. 15 hours? Where is it going? Instead of developing. But anyways, humans, what shall we do? Speaking of people being destructive, Sudan is out here being destructive for You know, the Sudan story is so, it just tells you the state of the human heart. Right now, there is this war thing that's going on in Sudan, to a point where the satellites, you have to understand how destructive people are being when satellite image can spot places where people are being killed. Not one person. Like, you cannot develop a spot like this. Do you see that spot? This is a house. Look at how big the houses are. Okay? And look at how big the spots, the blood spots are. Okay? Right in front, there is more blood spots. These are all places. So see all the places where they have boxed? All the places they have boxed, these are places where people were being killed. Right there, you can see multiple people dead in that particular spot. Multiple objects of what in ground discoloration right below where my image is, right there. The way they are killing people in Sudan, satellite pictures are able to pick up the blood spot on the... People are killing people as if it's cows. Imagine how much blood is it when it can be spotted this high. It can be spotted this high from a satellite. You can see the sizes of houses, and you can see those humans. Abu Peter, and they say, no, we're still preparing our... Talk to your friends there. And humans can be destructive. Humans can be destructive. I'm telling you. Humans can be so destructive. Now, in case not long ago we were dealing with subject matters of boyfriendings and girlfriendings killing each other and all those type of stories. They were all over the stories. Right now, it looks like it's now siblings and parents. Recently, a story came up that a brother killed his sister and stabbed her multiple times, and then threw her head, decapitated her head, and threw it in the bucket. Now, I didn't see where this story is from exactly. I think it's from KZN. The person is Lindile Mkiza or something like that. That's the name of the lady. And on this particular post, they didn't state what exactly was the dispute. They're just saying that he came back home and then he did this. He found her sleeping when he did this. And that's kind of like the story at this point. So the story has been out for a couple of days right now. At the moment, it's been out for a couple of days. I think 3-4 days or something like that. That is the dude and the bucket and whatnot. It's like people are just out here doing the most. Yeah. The date does show where is it exactly. It says the story is at Kwamash. The story is from Kwamash. They're going to be, you can see the memorial thingy and whatnot and stuff like that. Yeah, the hearts of people are just cold. Straight out cold. It's just, yeah, it's a lot. Now, that takes me to the next story. You thought that story was cold? Like, this story just goes worse. The next story also goes it's just about the same worse. There is a story about this judge. This lady is a judge. I saw this story. And I deleted it from the roster of the stories that I wanted to cover. I saw it, I deleted it because I couldn't find articles. Now, I did find why that's the case. Is because I'm guessing I was spelling the name of the judge differently. I think the name is Lena or whatnot. I'm not sure exactly. But because she's from Sweden, her name must be spelled so differently that it's just hard to find. This judge did something that will absolutely shocktalize you. This judge, there was a case. This was a case of a young lady that got violated. This young lady got violated, and this is her right here. Violated by some guy. This man was hey, you know, oh yeah. Jesus can come and take us. Like, really. So let me explain the story. So I saw this story. I kept seeing it and deleting it because I started seeing this story last month, 24th. So I would see it. I think even when I made the last episode, I saw the story. The day I did the last episode, this story was already out. So I deleted it because I couldn't find it by myself. So I couldn't validate the story. So I was like, you know what? Let me not cover it because I cannot validate it. All I was seeing it was where the place where I was seeing it was I was seeing it only on Facebook and stuff like that. So they were posting that an illegal immigrant, Colombian thief ring, disguised themselves as landscapers to break into people's houses and so forth, right? And so they do that and they go into whatever. Now this guy went in, violated a girl, and then the judge, wait for it, the judge refused a harsher punishment for this guy because she thought it wasn't that hectic. Now, so I couldn't find the exact articles. So I was looking for direct articles. And I found, luckily, early today, I found an Instagram page that had the articles, and he shows it. And it's this page right here by this gentleman, and he tells the story.
A 16-year-old Swedish girl was raped in the streets of Sweden, and guess what? The Swedish judge, this one right here, ruled that the attack was not serious enough for deportation. So instead, they gave him 3 years in prison. So the Swedish people and the father of this young girl will have to pay tax money for food and accommodation to...
Yeah. And so, the judge thought, it's not that big a deal. That's what the judge thought. He just thought, we can just look over this thing and just, don't have to even deport him. Just wasn't that serious. It wasn't that big of a deal. Complete violation of another person. It's not that big a deal. I thought that was wild, man. I thought that was wild. I know this story is just blink and blink and blink. And speaking of judges, okay? So this particular lens of stories right here is just showing you like the lens at which humanity just... Remember the Bible says towards the end, the hearts of many will grow cold. And you're seeing it in some of the stories. And speaking of judges with terrible judgment, I heard of a story also from the gamer community of a YouTuber by the name of Jody. Jody had a problem because a man fire-bombed his house, right? And now bear in mind, I think the fire was so bad, it almost hurt the neighbor. If I can remember that particular part properly, that not only it wasn't only Jody's house that got affected, but it's that the house and the neighbor Okay, yeah. I found the thing. Okay, Johannesburg, better known as Friendly Jody on YouTube. That's where his platform is. Had been making videos about his identities and so forth. And then someone came and said his house on thingy, and in front of him, analyzing a doorway destroyed, and bedrooms and hallways damaged, and smoke damaged occur to the neighbor's property as well. So as a result of the fire, it even affected the neighbors as well. Okay, and so this was no small thing. Fire bombing a person's house, it's no small thing, and he did it with petrol or something like that. Now, the reason why I wanted to cover this story is that Jody made a video speaking about how frustrated he was with this case, because by himself he was able to find more information that should have not only brought people to account for this, that this person who did this actually was paid to do it. Okay, so it wasn't him, he was paid to do it. And Jody had gone as far as saying, okay, now are we now going to bring the person to account who has done? And they didn't do that. And now his fear was, this just encourages all kinds of things if they do not think pretty much like the other judge. It's people that just don't make sense. These judges just don't make sense. He was frustrated by that. Like, how do you say you are dealing with this crime, but then there is clear proof that there is someone else involved, and you are not going to question the other person, and you're just taking it the easy route? Yeah, it's pretty wild. So yes, they are going to sentence the person to jail time, but imagine, what if someone had gotten hurt? What if someone had gotten hurt over that fire? So nowadays, I'm telling you, it's just so. That actually brings us to Pastor Makamu, Bishop Makamu's story. Bishop Makamu says he's looking for prayer warriors. Makamu is calling for all intercessors. Are you passionate about prayer, or do you carry the fire to stand in the gap for others? This is an opportunity for you to join Makamu Ministry Intercessory Team. Submit a CV on Thursday. So Thursday, the 6th of November, they say there, come to be part of the So the world needs prayers. The world needs prayers. Some of these stories are just, it's a weight. It's like a spiritual battle. It's an uphill spiritual battle, just even covering them. I thought some of these stories were just pretty wild. I'm only going to make this particular episode on this channel. I don't think any of these stories will probably lend themselves on the main channel, but the Evangelist one, I'll definitely remember to try and get you some more info around that, or as he further goes towards his Israel walk. It's Ricky. Other episodes down in the pin comments, and I'm going to check you guys on the other episode later on.